tube. It's New Year's Eve, a very, very snowy New Year's Eve, so which is great for filming because I've got bright white light coming in through the windows. So hope you're all well. I hope you all had a good Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrated or didn't celebrate season. Hope you've had a good December, as good as we can in this current situation. We're in tier 4 here in my part of England. We've been pretty much in lockdown since March. We did have a few weeks, I think end of June, July, where things were slightly relaxed, and then we were just all back to square one, and then they put us into tier 3, which was the highest tier, until this new strain of coronavirus came round, which seems to be causing a lot of trouble in this country at the moment. And for a while, for 3 weeks, we were in tier 3, still in tier 3, but then as of midnight, just gone, we're in tier 4. So like nothing's open apart from like essential shops. Like you're not meant to leave the house unless it's for like work or emergencies or whatever. So yeah. So I was meant to be going to Mum's tomorrow for a New Year's Day meal, but because of all the snow, I can't get my scooter out of the garage. Me and Mum are still all right to see each other because we're bubbled, and you know, we're each other's support bubbles, so we're okay. And obviously I can have my carers in because, you know, that's a need. But they wear masks and everything and gloves. So anyway, we don't want to talk about that, do we? So it's so cold. This house is colder than my old house. So I look like I've got a dressing gown on, but I haven't. Oops, some of my finishes just fell. This is a present off Mum for Christmas, and it's called a cocoon, and it is so snuggly. It's from Cozy Home, and it's got a little hood on it and everything. But they say you can go outside in it, but I wouldn't because it looks like a dressing gown, but it's so warm. Anyway, on to stitching. It looks like carnage here. It absolutely does. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. Should we start with finishes, if that makes sense? We'll start with finishes, because I don't know how many finishes I've had this month, to be honest. I've had a few new starts and a few little finishes, but I've lost track. I've lost track and lost the plot, I think. I've definitely had, when was that done? Oh, that was December as well. I've definitely had 4 finishes, I think. I don't know. And I've even had 4 FFOs, would you believe it? Because it's not very often you'll get me showing FFOs, but I actually have. 3 of which I haven't got with me because 2 were gifts and 1 was something I did. It was a friend's cross stitch, her first cross stitch that I turned into a pillow. But I have got photos. So in fact, let's start there, shall we? Let's start with FFOs, okay? We'll work backwards. So yeah, FFOs. The one I can show you is this one. This was Christmas Town by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which I finished a few years ago now, and I've been threatening to make it into a pillow every Christmas, and I never do, but I have this year. So I'm still learning, and what I have learned is that you need a bigger margin of fabric around the sides. But you know, when I was doing the one I've just done for my friend, I did leave a bigger margin, and it did work out a lot better. But anyway, I finished that, and I've put a wintry fabric on the back, and I tried it this way, you know, slitting it and doing the patch, but I don't like it. It's just not me. So when I did the one for my friend, I went back to my old technique of like leaving a gap and then doing like an invisible stitch underneath. So, but yeah, and I put some red pom-pom trim around it. First time I've ever trimmed anything, and quite pleased with myself actually, considering I'm not, you know, I don't class myself, well, I wish I was like a crafter and everything, but I'm not. I can do cross stitch, that's fine. I can crochet a bit, that's fine, but, and I try to knit, but yeah. But anyway, that was that one. You're propped up on my sewing machine actually at the moment because I'm also threatening to make a new cover for my sewing machine, but I haven't done it yet. But I thought if I leave my sewing machine out, I'll do it. I haven't, but I will. So my 3 other finishes, I'll put pictures in a moment. The first one I'll show you, it was my friend's first ever finish. She's given me permission to show it, and it was a little butterfly that she did. Her and her twin sister, who are both my friends, they're actually working on a full coverage piece together. They're both stitching on it. And it's taken because they have, as well as being teachers, they have a family like photography business where they specialise in horses. They photograph horses, and it's one that they've turned from one of their pictures into a cross stitch, and they're both working on that. But I gave them, well, I don't think this one was a kit that I bought. I think this is one that she had from somewhere else. But I have given them both like loads of my little kits that that you get free with magazines, and they've now finished a few of those. And yeah, so anyway, enough waffling. So the first one I'll show you, it's my friend's cross stitch, but the finishing is mine, and I finished this one with the invisible seam. That's what I was trying to say. It's not central, but like she had made some mistakes which she admitted, on the cross stitch, so its wings weren't level. So when I got an even border around it, the body was off center. So again, if I was doing it again, I'd probably do it as a pillow with a cross stitch on the side and another little bit, and then do a back. But anyway, she's pleased with it, so I'll insert that picture here. The next 2 I did were gifts for Christmas, for 2 friends, Anne and Joanne. Joanne's known as Stitching Joanne on Floss Tube. They were both from Lizzie Kate. One was called Stitching Friends, or Stitching Friends Forever, which I did for Joanne, and Friendships Are Stitched in Love for Anne. I finished these both using like the patch technique on the back, and again I didn't leave enough of a border around because they were my first ones along with the other one, but I've learned. But they both were really happy with them. Joanne's has got eyelet stitches in it, and Anne's has got road stitches in it as well, just a few. And they were all done in the called for threads, apart from there was one which I'm still waiting for actually, aghast. I can't remember, it was a pink, so I used a pink out of my stash, which was a bit more variegated than I would have liked, but I still think it looks nice. So I'll insert the pictures of those here. Right, so those were my FFOs. Shall we move on to finishes now? I think the only finish that I have with me is my peppermint purple sal, which was stitched on a 28 count Brittany opal that I can never remember the name of, and I can't even check because it's on my phone, which is behind me. But it's like a pale lemony pinky colour, although it always looks cream when you look at it on camera. And I did it in the called for colours. And here we go. I have a finish, yay! Isn't it pretty? I thought this was going to be FFO'd because I bought a frame for it only to realise I bought the wrong size frame. So, but never mind, it'll come in for something. So I'll give you like a closer look. And this was free, and this was released block by block each week. In fact, it felt very weird yesterday to have a Wednesday without a block to do. She is doing another free sale for next year, which starts tomorrow. Well, the year starts tomorrow, not the sale. And if you're on Facebook, you can find it on her Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook but you're on Instagram, then you could DM her on Instagram, because I'm not on Facebook, but she sent me a link each week so that I could download it. And I think we're about to be invaded by a cat, and I hope he doesn't get up here because there's stuff everywhere. Oh no, he's found my pile of old finishes on the floor now. Oh no, he's coming. Oh. Hello, Charlie. I think he thinks it's choir. I sing in a choir every Saturday. We're doing it online, actually. In fact, oh no, I can't link the Christmas one because yeah. Anyway, and he loves to join in, and he's now the official mascot for our choir. But you're not helping, Charlie, because there's stuff everywhere. You say hi to the camera. Come here. Come here. He's purring away. Right, should we just crack on? Let's get on with whips. Went down to 2 whips, now back up to 3, but as of tomorrow I'll be back to 2 because I will have a finish tomorrow, which is the Temperature Garden from Stitching Mummy. I always stitch it a day behind because I wait for the actual temperature rather than the projected one. This one's it. This is stitched on 28 count Brittany After the Rain by oh, the other one's called Dawn of Spring, it's just come to me. This is After the Rain by Jodrey Designs, and it's stitching it 2/2, and here we are. But yeah, thanks Charlie, getting in the way. Now Andy's coming as well. Going to be a full-on cat invasion in a minute. There we go. So all I've got left to do is one little petal there. And December's been weird. We started off coldish, then we had a really mild spell, and now it's absolutely blooming freezing. So hence why the fire's on, I've got a jumper on, I've got a cardigan on, I've got hand gloves on. It's freezing. So so yeah, so it's been a pretty chilly year really, apart from the odd few days of hot spells, but that's Temperature Garden from Stitching Mummy, who I will link below. I'll link her Etsy shop below, and she's also on FlossTube, which I'll link below. Pardon me, I've got a dry throat. I need to keep having a sip of tea. My tea is on the chest of drawers. Oh god, Poppy's here now as well. Oh, and here comes Andy. Is it going to be one of those videos? I've got Andy on this side of me, Poppy on this side of me, and Charlie on the floor sniffing at all my old finishes, which I've got some finishes down there which are about 40 years old. No, 30 years old. Putting 10 years on myself. So, and they're still not been FFO'd. I've got my stitching isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle mug, but yeah, this is on the chest of drawers out the way. Okay. Next, I'll put that back in there. Next whip is my Haid. Andy, don't chew that, thank you. Is my Haid. Haven't done as much on this as I would have liked. I was hoping to have finished the page that I'm doing, but I didn't. I can't exactly remember how much I did last time. Where I was up to. But yeah, it's stitched on 25 count Murano, 1/1 full cross, and it's called Ashley Gardens by Dennis Lewin, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I will show you where I am. I've still got my Christmas needle minders on it. Ugh. I can see what I'm down a bit there. There we go. I was hoping to have finished off this page, but I've just got a little patch just there to do, which is pretty much blocks of colour, so it won't take me long. But I have finished that tree off, yay! But the rest of that row now is big blocks of colour, which I don't like. It's great because it will get done quick, but if I had to choose between confetti or blocks of colour, I would choose confetti. But yeah, I just get bored with blocks of colour. Oh gosh, that is so heavy. So that's that. That's whips. No, it's not. Because my other whip is also a new start, which is Temperature Garden for next year, because I'm doing it again. And I did have the name of this fabric, which of course I've lost. It's a similar fabric to the one I was doing it on last year. It's a bit more greeny blue. And it's also a 28 count Brittany. Oh, there's a cat just walking past my door outside, I think. I've just got a notification on my doorbell thing. Yeah, a 25 count Brittany, 2/2. And this is what I've done so far. Because I always start off in the middle. So the middle was, well, just below there. So I've stitched in, this is what I did last year. I've stitched in the first 6 months. And I've put the first petal centre in ready, so that will be started. That was showing you the back then. It's back to front to me. That will be started on the 2nd of January, because like I say, I stitch it a day behind. So that's a whip and a new start. So I think that is it. So now comes my sort of end of year review and my sort of plans for next month. And I say sort of because when I watch other people who do these, they are far more organised than I am. Mine's only sort of like an attempt at an end of year review, but we'll go with it, won't we? So I'm lucky I've even got this far this month, because it's 20 to 1 in the afternoon now. And I'm just so tired. I had ended up having a line this morning because my carer couldn't get to me, because where she is, her car was basically snowed in. So, and I didn't realise until, because I hadn't heard a message come through, so I just woke up and thought, oh, it's light outside, which it isn't usually. So I did have a lie-in this morning. Natalie came, my other friend, stroke carer, and worked for me. And is now in the bag that my old finishes are in. So, end of year review. Now, I don't know if you remember, but I showed you a board system that I was using for this year. And I have to say, I mean, oh, my finishes are falling on the floor now. I've tried in the past, paper planners several times, and I don't keep up with them. I've not tried a digital planner, but that's simply because I know I wouldn't keep up with it. But this, I've sort of borrowed 2 other floss tubers' ideas and sort of merged it together, and then used a bit of my own ideas into it, and it's worked for me. There was a period of time, there was a few months in the middle of the year when I didn't keep up with it as well as I should have done. It was when I was moving, because it was packed away because I was ready to move, and then the sale fell through. So it was a few months before I got to it. And also I put it on a smaller board because the other board was way too big, especially for this house. It was almost the size of a wall, gosh. So I've condensed it, and I have to say, I've kept up with it. So this is what at the beginning of every year, I'm going to sort of like clear the board and start again. So I'm not going to have a reminder, but I'm not really bothered about that. But I am amazed with the amount of finishes I've had this year, because I don't think I've had this amount of finishes in probably forever. But this is my board at the end of the year. I've not put any planned starts in, simply because, like I said, it's going to start again as of tomorrow, and the 2 planned starts that I have will go on it tomorrow. But I can just see to the bottom, had to go off the board at the bottom. But this is where we are. So as you can see, my whips, I've got Ashley Gardens, I've got like the Temperature Garden for this year and the Temperature Garden for next year. And I just write on the start date and the finish date. And then when I've finished, they get put into this finished pile. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the finishes off one by one, because that'll save me a job later. And if I've got the coordinating finish with me, which at the moment are all on the floor, then I will show it you. If not, and I have pictures, I'll put a picture in. So the first one I'm not going to show you because you've just seen, which was the Blackwork Salve in Peppermint Purple, which I started on the 2nd of January and finished on the 23rd of December. So I'm not going to show you that because, like I say, you've just seen. Right, next one. This I've just put a picture in and I've not got it anyway. This was Stitching Friends by Lizzie Kate, which seems like an awful long time in between the start and the finish for such a little pattern, but that's because I was waiting for that thread and it didn't turn up, so I changed my mind. So this was the photo of it, and I started it on the 3rd of December and finished it on the 18th, but that was just because I was waiting for that thread and then gave up. The one that didn't turn up, it was that pink there, but I used something else for it. So that was that one. And then I'll show you the other one that I did for my friend Anne, which is the Lizzie Kate Friendship Stitched in Love, which you should just have seen a picture of. And that was started on the 5th of December, and again, because I was waiting for the thread, it was finished on the 18th of December. It was really all wrapped up and finished, wrapped up and posted off in a very short amount of time, and I forgot to take photos. That's why the photos that you've actually seen were sent to me by the recipients, because I forgot to take photos. Right, Be Well and Stitch. Be Well and Just Keep Stitching. This was a freebie from Sue Hillis, and it was with the Be Well movement. I've not got an exact start date on this because it was when I was in the process of moving, so I couldn't remember, but it was started in September sometime and finished on the 24th of October. That's because I lost some stitchy book for a while. And that one is on the floor. Excuse me a second. Pick up all my finishes. Oh, there's no room. There is absolutely no room here. So here we go, and I've still not finished this. I've got a frame for it. Yeah, I'm not sure what's the back of it. So there we go. It's stitched on a 28 count Jodrey Designs fabric, but again, I've not got the name of it because I'm just useless at that. And it's on 28 count 2/2. The thread was sent to me by my friend Sydney Stitcher, and I can't remember the name of that. It was a cottage garden thread. See, I've been doing Floss Tube for 6.5 years. I'm still useless. Oh, I'm just watching Andy. He's very near my old finishes. I'm not so happy. Right. Next was a biggie. So I'm just taking these off at random. They're not in any kind of date order. He's playing with a ball, but he's really near my finishes. Andy! Excuse me, one moment, because he's now sat on them. Okay, they're safely out of harm's way now. Right, next was a biggie, which was my Haid, which was Mini Butterfly Pink. Can't remember who the artwork was by, but it was charted by Haid. It was stitched on 18 count Ada 2/2 full cross. It was started on the 27th of January 2016, but I stitched the vast majority of it in 6 months. It's just I had a long time when she wasn't touched at all. But yeah, started on the 27th of January 2016, finished on the 22nd of July this year, and that is her picture. And this is her. I'd love to get her framed when framing shops are open. There she is. She's been washed and looking beautiful. So to anybody who thinks a Haid wouldn't look nice on 18 count, it does, trust me. Because going forward, all of my mini Haids, I think, are going to be on 18 count. But yeah, and Mum does all of her full coverages on 18 count, and they always look awesome, as you know. So just let me have a slurp. It's going cold now. Right, that's that one. And Poppy's now sat on my other finishes. She's not causing any harm though. Next one, we will do this one. This was out of the Lakeside Needlecraft Christmas 2019 book, and it was by Peppermint Purple, who is becoming a firm favourite of mine. Not got exact dates on it, but I think it only took me a few days. I started it, I put December 19, it was the very end of December, and I finished it on New Year's Day last year, 1st of the 1st, 20. This one, the mistake I made with this one is that I stitched it on 32 count, and I don't think you get the detail of the black work through as well on 32 count, so I wouldn't do that again. This is another one I said I would have framed and put up this Christmas because it's only tiny. I've got a frame that'll fit it, I've just not done it. But there we go. It's I don't know the name of the fabric. It was like an offcut because it's got like a bit of something on the back of it. But I do know it's 32 count and it's an even weave. But yeah, that's that one. Then we'll go for another big one. We had Queen of Peace by Mirabilia. That is her photo there. I've not got on start or finish because it was on, but I dropped a pin on the floor, I'll find that later. But it's obviously fallen off at some point and the details are on my phone. So, but again, I think she'd been started in 2016 and had a tiny bit on it, wasn't touched for 4 years, and then I finished it within a few months. I know that. And this is another one I'd love framed for this room when I've got it decorated in the colours I want, not with this. But here she is. And she's on 32 count Murano by Chromatic Alchemy called Polynesian. The miracle I've remembered that, but I have. And the beads all fit fine because sometimes on 32 count the beads can get a bit squished, but they didn't at all. There she is, looking absolutely gorgeous. I'd love to get her framed for this room though. Someday, in some crazy time when shops are allowed to open. Right, next one. We'll have this one, which isn't on my finished board. There was 2 of these. I don't know where the other one's gone, actually. This was just a little freebie. No, it wasn't a freebie at all. It was... Oh, it was. It was sent to me as a freebie. It was when I was doing the Lakeside Needlecraft DMC collection thing, and she used to send, like, a free gift each month, and this came 1 month. And it's a Tatty Teddy, oops, with a butterfly. So, and there was another one, but I don't know where that's gone. It'll turn up. This is another one that I've not got on my finished board. These little robins, which I was going to make into Christmas cards, which obviously I haven't done. They were a free chart with one of either World of Cross Stitching or Cross Stitch Crazy magazine a few years ago, and they were meant to be gift tags, but I was going to make them as little card toppers. But I've not got any details on that. Next is this one, which I don't have with me because it was a gift. This was a Mill Hill kit called Love Notes. And I did this for my choir leader, Sue, who is just amazing. And I just stitched it up. I finished it with a felt backing and put it in a Christmas card for her, and she loves it. So I started this on the 19th of November, finished it on the 2nd of December. Took me so long because this was a kit that I have at Mum's and I was only stitching on it there, but then I knew it wasn't going to be finished in time, so I brought it home and finished it. But I will insert a picture of what that looks like finished here. It's going to be a lot of editing for me to do today. Right, the next one is Snow Village. This was by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I was doing a monthly auto ship programme with Patchwork Rabbit. Although it got a bit held up in the middle and then she sent a load towards the end, so it was actually finished earlier than I was expecting. So I started this on the 22nd of November 2019, finished on the 14th of August this year. Oh, no point showing you that picture, I just might as well show you the finish. I didn't do it on the called for fabric. I used one out of my stash, which once again, the name is on my phone. But I do know it's a 28 count Brittany by, it's an opalescent one, and it's by Jodrey Designs. I used all the called for colours except for the white. I used the B5200 instead, and then I did the snowflakes with the Etoile white, which I wouldn't do if I was doing it again because they hardly show up. You can see them if I move it closer, but also they don't look white, they look silver. But yeah, I was going to have that done for this month, you know, hung up and everything, but it's not happened. I'm getting tired now. I always find these videos really exhausting because of like my health problems and everything, but we'll plough through because we're getting towards the bottom now. Yeah, because I only actually have one finish here to show you, which was this one, which was sent to me by a lovely stitching friend, Sandra. What's the name of it? I'm not got any because the details are all on my phone. I know it's a Luca S kit, and I'm really sorry I cannot remember the name of it, but I used all the, like everything that came with the kit, including the fabric, because I did think about subbing it out, but I just like the look of it on the white. But I started this on the 18th of July and finished it on the 22nd of July. And that is here. And I absolutely love this. It's got a bit squished up in my roll. It needs ironing. It's like I said, it's done for with all, it was done with all the called for, well, with all the colours in the kit. It was anchor threads, and it's 18 count Ada. It said 14 count on the kit, but it's definitely 18 count. And it's just so beautiful. I absolutely love it. I think, is it my favourite finish? Because I've also had like my Haid and my, it's in the top 3 finishes anyway with for this year, with my Haid and my Mirabilia. I don't think I could pick between the 3 of them, to be honest, but I absolutely love it, and that is going to go in my craft room eventually. So that's all the finishes I've got here. There was this one as well, which was a Mill Hill kit. I've got this, it's an FFO. What am I on about? I've got it here, it's in my craft room. 1 second. So I've actually had 6 FFOs this month, not 4, because of course I'd FFO'd the little Mill Hill kit I did for my choir leader Sue, and also FFO'd this one. I've got no details on it because it was done during the time when everything was packed up and I was ready to move, but it was some point in the middle of the year. Charlie's playing on the floor, it looks so funny. But this is Love Sewing, or Love Stitching by Mill Hill, and I just finished it off with a pink felt backing. But yeah, it's got some Krynic in it as well, but that just hangs in my craft room. So I think that's my finishes. Before I do planned starts, I'm going to do stitching. Well, no, it's not stitching kindness as such, although it was very kind, but it's stitching related gifts that I got for Christmas. The first and the most awesome is this project bag with handles. And I've seen this fabric online, but I hadn't got any with, because it was such a big fabric, I didn't know what I'd do with it really. But look, she even made this. She's like cut one of these, put felt on the back, and it's like, it's squishy. So that in itself was awesome enough, but then look at this. It was like one of those, are they called Matryoshka dolls or something, you know, the Russian dolls that you open it up and something smaller comes out, and then something smaller, and then something smaller. So yeah, the next thing that came out of it was, I think, was this, which again is like a little notions bag, and it's all quilted and everything, and it's got another, it's like a little mouse on there with the backing. But I like it because you get like the front of the cat's there, and then she's, oh no, it's another one where she's cut the front, and oh, it's the other one. But that, isn't that cute? So that came out of that, and then this came out of it. Yeah, this is the one, it's got the cats on the front, and then the back of them. And then, open this, and she made me a face mask out of the same fabric, which is really good because I only had one face mask. Now I have two, but she's put these little toggles on the end so that I could alter them, you know, which I thought was a brilliant idea, because me and my mum, we have ridiculously small heads, because I always struggle with glasses because adult size glasses are way too big for me. These are adult ones, but they're way chopped down on there. But yeah, so it was great that I was able to alter that to fit my face. And then there was also a little orc catcher. Isn't that the most awesome present? That was off my amazing friend Anne, and I just can't thank her enough. But not only did she get me that, she also got me the Caterpillar cross stitch full kit for the Made to Create sale, which is starting on the 25th of January. So this is also my future plans, because that will be started on the 25th of January. And I'll show you like what you got inside the kit. There was all the threads on the thread card. She got me the needle minder to match the Made to Create, and it's a lovely enamel one. I'm not using the fabric that came with it. I don't think I've got it here, the one that came with it. But I'm subbing it out for, please excuse the crinkles, for this one. Because it was like a beigey, linen-y type thing, and the beige isn't really me. What's this? Oh, yeah, and then as well as the kit, oh yeah, and I get the patterns by PDF like every time, but then she also got me a little needle minder with a cat on, and she's way too kind, way too kind. She bought me one of these, which is going to be so handy. It's one of those, you clip it onto your Q-snap or your hoop, and then it's got like a clip which you can put your pattern in. Ingenious. I've seen them on Floss Tube and thought they were a good idea. And last but not least, she also got me, what is this? Andy's just looking. What's that, Mum? What's it, Andy? A posh pair of squizzers. What do you think, Andy? Andy doesn't approve. A very posh, and I love squizzers because I do have some, but these are nicer. But they're so handy, especially when you're doing like smaller work. They're nice and handy. So let's put it back in its box. I didn't want to get anything out until you'd seen it. And then also it's sort of a re-gifting sort of off Mum. This was off Mum. It's something that she had in her stash, which she knows that I really like, and she'd kept it thinking, well, what shall I do with it? Anyway, eventually she decided to give it me, and it's this. Please excuse the plastic. It's a Thomas Kincaid full kit, and it's Stepping Stone Cottage, but she knows I've been admiring it for many, many years. She bought this when we were at a show together, which I think was the same show that I bought Queen of Peace from, when they used to do an awesome needlework show in Manchester. They still do that show, but I think it's more like knitting and card making these days. There's from what I've heard from people who've been, there's very little cross stitch. Whereas you could, I think it was on 3 days, and you could have spent a full 3 days there looking at the cross stitch stuff. It used to be amazing. But I think that's it. Yep. So my caterpillar cross stitch, which Anne got me, which is starting on the 25th of January, is going in this project bag because it has to. You know, could there be a project bag better? No, I'll leave that as it is. My other planned start, swiftly moving onto planned start, excuse me, itching my eye, as well as a caterpillar cross stitch. Now this is hopefully a planned start, because last year in April, me, my dad and my stepmom should have been going on holiday to Fuerteventura in the Canary Islands. My first ever time abroad. And then coronavirus came and did its thing and we couldn't go. So this was going to be my start when we went. So sorry about the light, Poppy's messing with the curtain. So they moved the holiday to April this year, but we'll have to see what happens. At the moment, you know, if we were going right now, we couldn't go anywhere. So this is a maybe start. And I did show it you earlier on in the year, but I'll show it you again. And it's this one, the On Holiday with Crazy Cat Lady. Because if I could take my cats with me, that's what we'd be like. I'd be sat in my deck chair, although I'd have stitching in my hand, not at the same time as an ice cream. And yeah, the cats would be everywhere. I'm doing it on the everything called for apart from the fabric, which I've subbed out there. And that is in my lovely bag by the So Trendy Crafter on Etsy, who I shall link below. Who also did me an Oceans pouch, a grime guard. Oh, that's me. My piece of paper for my board. And there's all the other things as well. That's it. A scissor pouch, and oh, I made this myself. I made the thread keeper myself. My first and only time I've made a thread keeper, well, or catcher. Yeah. So that's it for planned starts. I'm quite sure other starts will creep in as the year goes on. But I don't like to have too many things on the go at once, as I've said before. Although, if I did, there'd be carnage, because I would just start so many. There is so much in my stash that I want to do. That was one of the reasons why I decided not to do the Peppermint Purple sal this coming year, because I thought there's so much of stuff that I've already got that I really want to start. Yeah. Right, giveaways. So, last month, where have I put the last month's giveaway? What have I done with it? I remember. Hang on, they're over here. They're in this bottom drawer. I wanted to keep them safe from the cats. And you know what it's like, you put things somewhere safe and then you can't remember where they are. But I've just remembered. Ooh. Right, so, sorry about the wobbling. So there was 2 patterns, and I've only got one out. You know, maybe after I've been doing Floss Tube for 10 years, I might actually learn how to do it properly. Yeah, there was 2 patterns. The first one was Winter Wonderland by Hell's Couple Ditch, which is this one. Oh, Poppy. Honestly, it's been a total cat invasion. It's been a catastrophe of a video. See what I did there? Yeah, so that was Santa, and then there was Poppy. There was Joy. So the winners, which Poppy is stood on. The winner of Joy was Quilter and Cross Stitcher, well done. I've left a comment on your comment from the old video, from the last video, and if you could email me with your postal address, that would be great. My email address is in the description box down below. And the winner of Santa, which is so cute. I would love to do this one, I really would, but I just know that I've got so much other stuff. I just know it wouldn't get done if I kept it. And it's too nice just to sit in my stash. Somebody has to do it. The winner is Sylvia Rojas. I hope I've pronounced your surname right. Sylvia has been watching me, I think, since the beginning. I don't know why. But thank you so much, Sylvia, for watching me, and I'm so glad that you've won this giveaway. So again, if you could email, I've put a comment on your comment from the other video, and if you could email me with your postal address, that would be wonderful, and I'll get those sent out to you. Now I have another giveaway, and it's pretty awesome. I've had this for a while, not knowing really how I was going to do it, but I think the time has come to give it away. Now this, if you follow my mum, who I realise I haven't put her progress in, but we'll talk about that in a minute. If you follow what my mum's been stitching, like she's not on social media, but I put pictures of hers on my social media well, I'm only on Instagram, which I'll link below if you want to come and follow me on there. She did this a few years ago, and it's hanging above her fire in the living room, and the picture does nothing for it whatsoever because it is absolutely beautiful. It's a biggie. She did it on 18 count, which measures, it says 22 1/8 of an inch by 16.5 inches. But enough talking. This is what I'm giving away this month. It's the full chart for Heaven on Earth by Mystic Stitch. Now this chart, Mum actually bought 2 charts because she bought this one was coming from America, and it just took forever and we thought it had been lost. So she bought it again from Colin at Country Designs, who I shall link below, and then this turned up. So this was actually a spare copy, so it's a legitimately bought copy. Never been used. I can't obviously show you inside. You didn't see that, did you? But it's never been used, never been opened. You know, the actual book itself has never, apart from me having a quick look at it, it's never been opened. But I'm never going to stitch it because this will be coming to me one day anyway. So there would be no point in me stitching it again. So I thought somebody else deserves to have it. And whoever does win it, I would absolutely love to see your progress on it. But yeah, so if you would like to win this, just put Heaven in the comments, and next month I will do the random YouTube comment generator. It's gone a bit dark again, looks like it's going to snow again. I'll do the YouTube random comment generator and pick out a name, and I will send it anywhere. I won't fold it. But I will send it anywhere in the world, so anybody is free to enter, and good luck because it is amazing. Oh, just Mum then, right? Yeah, Mum's progress. I forgot to take a video, but I did take a picture of her progress. She is stitching Bridge of Tranquility. The artist is Charles somebody. And it's charted by oh god, is it Artsy or Mystic Stitch? I think it's it's Artsy, because the Artsy charts are amazing to look at. They're so crisp and clear, and they're lovely. It is by Artsy. Once again, she's steaming ahead with it, although she's not done as much recently. She's been having she has vertigo, and she's been having a lot of trouble with that. So like it's taken her 2 weeks to do her last page, which, you know, to her is like forever. So but I will insert a picture of where she's up to here. So that was my absolute dumpster fire of a video. I am so sorry to anybody who's been watching me for a while. I am sorry. You know, I don't think I'm ever going to get any better, am I? But I try, and I'm here. So it's now 1:10 in the afternoon, so we've only got like, what, 10 hours and 50 minutes left of 2020. Let's all hope 2021 for everyone is a better year. I mean, the good thing that did happen to me this year is that I moved house. You know, even though I desperately want to get it decorated because this wallpaper is really beginning to get to me. I didn't mind it to begin with, but yeah. But I can't wait to get it all decorated. But yeah, moving here has been amazing. My catio is amazing. My garden, especially covered in snow, is amazing. I just love it here. And the amount of comments that I've had from people saying that I seem so much happier, and I am. I genuinely am. Yeah. But let's all hope that 2021 is a better year. So, and everybody as well who's posted end of year reviews and plans videos, thank you, because I absolutely love watching them, and they are all better than mine. People are far more professional at these things than I am. So but yeah, thank you all for those, and thank you everybody who's watching me. Thank you for your likes, thank you for subscribing, thank you for sticking with me right to the end, because you deserve a medal. But I'm just checking around, I don't think I've missed anything. I'll probably find I have when I've finished. But so yeah, so happy new year everyone, and I shall see you all next year. Bye.